dear, dear, dear. Safeguard Force. What the hell is that? By the people, for the people, with the people. Is anybody else getting the feeling we're being played? Come on, think about this. Order out of chaos. Fuck me. Honestly. And when you see this, yeah. Illegal migrants have more rights than the people of Essex. Fury grows after judge rules asylum seekers could stay at Epping Migrant Hotel. And I'll be honest, I did see something along the lines of we're paying for our own replacement. And essentially that's what's going on. You know, look, when you know that they could have solved homelessness demonstrably almost overnight at a fraction of the cost of what you see ongoing being spent. Yeah, seriously. Imagine that, yeah. And at the same time, I keep looking at the education system. How is it that over the last few decades, people that would normally be in various professions or forms of employment, suddenly the native population no longer wants to do whatever these jobs are that are the only solution is to have uncontrolled immigration. Think about this. And when you look at the lowering of IQs and all the rest of it, honestly, oh dear, 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 seriously. I mean, even with mobile phones, I look at things and you hear things like body language experts, right? And I would argue most people, before phones, had quite a skill in that, yeah, because they're spatially aware. They're looking about them in their day-to-day. You know, who looks happy, who looks whatever, you know, how do I get from A to B? How do I navigate that crowd? All you're thinking about is your next appointment or whatever the hell you're doing in life. But most people were spatially aware. And then came mobile phones and then smartphones. Honestly, everybody with their heads in their phones. The level of denial. When what you should be looking around you and seeing is, well, a demographic change that, and remember, has no intention of, for many of them, learning, well, English, yeah. But have a lifestyle funded through us. And remember, we are being fine-tuned through the cashless society and the digital ID. To, well, remember Tony Blair. Well, digital ID, that'll stop this uncontrolled immigration. Well, who allowed it in the first place? And that's what you should be asking yourself. Yeah. Order out of chaos. They create the chaos. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're being told by many others, like the William Wallace, the only solution to this is historically has never worked. Never fucking worked. Government always continues. Who stands to gain out of all of this? They're trolling you at the rate of knots. And all I see is, just look at the motivations of those involved in this. Yeah. Why is it that Freemasonry, Eastern Star, Theosophy, Humanism, the New Age movement, but something happens to be the common denominator that drives them? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Because others are telling you we need to take to the streets. When the fuck is that ever worked out? And think about this. Remember all those Masonic tossers who will absolutely be the cream of anything to do with the water board, anything to do with utilities. So if you're naively thinking, well, I'm gonna be fined for the next whatever if this kicks off. Believe me, they've thought about this. Have you? Honestly, I've said it over the years. Have you looked at the Tesco's, the Asda's, the whatever? And under, God forbid, some civil unrest, these things can be turned into, well, holding centres, you name it. You're being played. People need to grow up in this one and only need to look a few fucking decades ago where things were actually working out pretty bloody well. Yeah? To most, I'm not making any sense, I suspect, but I mean, come on. Really? Who stands to gain out of this? Remember, they're literally telling you now, you are not worth a fuck. Everybody that comes from anyone else is superior to you and is first in the queue of everything. And remember, all those people coming across here, which will then be exposed to the processed foods that we've been exposed to over the last few decades, will probably become unhealthy even quicker because they were not used to it. So, at some stage, the NHS will crumble. Absolutely. Remember, it's all about order out of chaos. As always, I could do a better job, but, I mean, when you look at the subject matter, seriously, really, I'll speak to you soon.